450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, just like the back of that shirt says.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Justin Barsha.
Cameron
McAdoo. Anybody else?
Not me.
You know, it's got big wiener on the line. Because you inspect these things quite frequently.
Ooh.
You?
Oh,
I'm not the one who comes to you with pictures and say, hey, look at this guy's dick.
Oh, my God. McAdoo's was out for the world to see. Impressive, no?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. Barsha.
His poor wife.
That one picture of Barsha.
Big old unit. But who brought the picture of Barsha to me and said, hey, look at this unit?
Okay.
Did me and Justin bring it to you and say, hey, look at his fucking dick?
Blame Moto Memes.
Oh, okay. All right. Moto Memes. That's it.
Blame him.
Okay.
It's a trickle-down effect.
Okay. Cool. You could have kept that info to yourself.
No, it was hilarious, though. Because now look what's come of it.
All right.
You see what's come of it?
Oh, my God. Anyway, Sexton goes 1-1 there. And so he's going to win this title, right?
Yeah. I think yesterday was even more of a confidence-building ride than what Redbud was. Because he just kind of rode around in 5th, 6th, and just motored his way up and still put a 10-second...
He let the race come to him.
Yeah, and still put a 10-second lead up.
Yep.
Now, after watching that, I'm like, wow, he looks really good on this bike, and he's really starting to find himself. But I start thinking of the number 18 or the number 1 or whatever you want to call him, Jett Lawrence. If he was still in the mix, I'm KTM right now. I'm working on starts all week. His starts are god-awful.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question that I've asked Justin and several other people here. If Jett doesn't crash at Hangtown, none of this is happening.
I think the speed's there. I think
the
Sexton,
speed is there.
I think Sexton runs with him, but his starts would be his Achilles heel.
Sexton ran with him last year.
Yeah,
never beat him once.
I think he's on a little bit of a different level this year on the KTM.
Okay.
And I think he can go to a little more of a level. And I think a lot of it, again, mental thing, like everything's around him at KTM. He had all the other kind of behind-the-scenes shit going on at Honda, and I think that, those little things, let's say we're looking at it as a percentage, like he needs to be 110% to beat Jett.
Yeah.
With all that shit around and kind of behind the scenes messing with him, the factory Lawrence Honda, that's going to back him down to maybe like 107, 106, and that ain't going to get it done. I think just even that little bit going on, you're sitting on the line thinking of that kind of stuff, like all the attention's on him. It's going to mess with you out there on the track. Now, when you're on that KTM, like it's all just him. I think there's no reason why he can't be just as fast and not have those other distractions.
So here's my thought.
I don't know. Do I sound crazy?
No, you don't. Here's my thought process on it. Jett crashing in that first moto at Hangtown, and for everybody who's watched, sorry, because it's like the 4th time I've said this, allowed Chase to win that first moto, which then allowed him to have the confidence to do that ride in the second moto. That ride in the second moto does not happen. Like, first off, I don't think he wins that first moto, period. End of discussion. If Jett nails that triple and just takes off, and I know I'm going to get flamed in the comments again, if, okay, we're bench racing here, so if, get the fuck over it. He doesn't then beat Jett in that first moto, and then in that second moto, yeah, maybe he has an incredible ride and comes back to second, but there's no way he catches Jett, because Jett's another 10 seconds plus up the road. Which then leads into, I don't think maybe he gets 1 or 2 here, but I don't know that he's not pulling all these wins and doing what he's doing. And that's if he even has any confidence, in my opinion, to get there. Because, again, now if you go through Hangtown and he hasn't beat him, so now he's gone however many motos last year, plus the first 4 this year where he hasn't been able to beat him. He could run with him, but he can't beat him. There just isn't confidence to actually pass him. You can catch him, but you can't pass him. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's all.
I think you can go with him.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
With him. Start wise is just what would.
Yeah,
that's the big difference maker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
think they both run about the same speed. Sexton, I don't know. I think he maybe has a little bit of an edge. I don't think we've ever seen Jett go to his limit on a 450 outdoors. Well, we've never seen him at his limit.
No.
And when you do see him pushing a little bit, you do see little mistakes.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hunter. Hunter was on the ropes at Redbud, and those
Dude.
last 2 laps were sketchy.
Hunter was a lot sketchier at Redbud than anticipated.
Correct. And you've never seen that before.
No.
And you've never seen Jett on the ropes like that, I don't believe.
No.
And everybody, another thing that kind of grinds my gears too is everybody's like, oh, Jett with the shoulder injury, Jett this, Jett that. How about Sexton drilling himself into the ground all the time, and then nobody's been making excuses for him?
Dude, I don't know how he bounces up.
He's just built different, man. It's like Geegan.
Yeah.
Hitting the ground, they're built different.
Yeah.
It's a genetics thing. So
I'll tell you what, dude, Jett's been lucky that he hasn't gotten hurt before this.
yeah,
and I'll also say, do you subscribe to the concept that this is
good for him,
good for Jett and bad for everybody else? Because
I think so. I think it gives him a little more longevity.
Because there was a lot of pressure building there. You could see it. I mean, we talked about it in the interviews. You could see it. It was starting to build and get to him of like the pressure of, I got to keep winning. I got to keep winning. You know, he wasn't saying that out loud, but you could just tell by the interviews, and he was shot after races and stuff like that. Where now it's like, last week he was at Redbud, and he's like, dude, I'm just here chilling. I get to experience Redbud, which I was surprised to see him there last week.
I bet the flights were already booked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason he was there.
Well, when I talked to his mechanic, he was like, all his friends are here, so he has no reason to be anywhere else right now. And I was like, oh, okay, that's right. So, and it was funny because I walked out with him and, we walked out, and then we went back because I actually had to piss, and there was a line of traffic. And then when we came back out, Jett was talking to Roger walking out, and then Lucas, Myrtle, and I assume it was Jett's chick. We're all coming out or whatever.
Was her belly going a little bit?
No, that's fake.
I've heard that. Emily even told me that. Emily found it on Facebook or something.
I don't know what the hell that was about, but I've seen the text from somebody who texted Myrtle and asked him, and Myrtle's like, yeah, no, that's not fucking real. So I guess it's fake right now. I don't know.
I mean, if it is real, then that'll be interesting. Nobody's really ever been at this age and in their prime of their career.
Dude, if it's real, the career is not going to be what we thought it was.
I don't know.
That'll be a good way to shoot yourself in the foot. But
Roe v. Wade?
I'm not going there. But I tend to trust more what Myrtle says there, so we'll see. But But anyway, I do think this is good for Jett and bad for everybody else because getting this little mental break and everything for him.
It's very, to me, Villapoto-ish. He's kind of, just kicking everybody's ass. Villapoto, man, Villapoto's career was short, but he missed a lot of seasons too. And if he wouldn't have missed those seasons, we really wouldn't have seen a lot of him.
It'll be interesting to see because you look at Villo's career. Every outdoor Villo raced, series,
title
he won.
Yeah.
So, is Jett going to do that same thing? It is a little disappointing because I was kind of hoping that Jett maybe would get close to RC's numbers outdoors because he's so good outdoors, but
I think the only thing we really went off Sexton here, but I think Jett.
I mean, what do you want me to say about Sexton? He's going to win this title. Chances of him losing very many motos here is low.
We'll just slide Jett in before we talk about Hunter, per usual.
Yeah.
No, Sexton's pretty much got this title on lock, and that was a real big confidence booster yesterday. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Jett, I think for him, what's going to keep him in the sport longer is ride this contract out with Honda and go somewhere else. Don't re-sign. You need a change of scenery. You need something new. That's the only thing that's going to keep him around longer. If he stays with Honda his whole entire career and keeps rolling with them,
yeah,
I don't see it.
Maybe one more for another 3-year deal or something.
What's he on right now, 2?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 or 3. I think he's good through next year.
I say finish this one out and go somewhere else.
We'll see.
Go somewhere else. And to me, I think that
the problem is going to be Honda is going to have first right of refusal. They're going to have right to match.
Are they though?
Yep.
Carmichael went 24-0. They said bye-bye.
That was older Honda. There is no way Honda. I mean, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. In the dealership world right now, there ain't no rebates on any Honda bikes. You know why? Because all the win bonuses are getting paid to these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, are they going to sell bikes or are they going to keep paying their employees? They got to sell bikes to keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to see him go somewhere else. And for me, I think it more solidifies a champion even more to go win on all different brands. That's why I respect
Yeah.
the hell out of Carmichael, because he won on every brand he was on.
Mm-hmm.
He won from a 2-stroke to a 4-stroke.
Yep.
You know, if you want to solidify yourself as one of the elite champions, say a Tomac, you go win on a different brand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Percentage pie, you think Sexton wins this title?
I mean, he's, knock on wood, solid. Even if he hits the ground, I think he's not going to get hurt. But
95%?
I'm at 95, yeah.
I mean,
you never know what can happen, bike stuff, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
But there just isn't anybody still racing that I think can run with him at this point.
No, and we'll get into the next guy, Hunter Lawrence. I just think for him...
Hunter goes 2-2, by the way, for second, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just think for him, he's just missing a little raw speed. I will give him a lot of credit for just saying, hey, like, I just flat out didn't have it on the podium.
Yeah.
Like, I respect the hell out of that. And I think for him, he didn't expect to be in this situation anyway.
I don't think so either.
No. Like,
I think this is
like,
all
I think he was like,
up and up.
let me get some top 5, let me get some podiums.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I expect to be. And everything else has exceeded the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for him, I mean, Sexton's the only guy with championship experience, so of course he's the favorite. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
else in the field has even come close to an outdoor championship, and I don't know. And you saw Hunter on the ropes at Redbud. I don't think he can go with him at least yet.
No.
First half of that race, yeah, but it
Mhm.
looked like a fitness thing to me.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
which
so,
will come.
So let me ask you this. Hunter, do you buy into the theory that Hunter's basically accepted just second fiddle to Jett, essentially? He's just like totally settled into like, this is my role as a professional dirt bike racer, is to do the best job I can, mostly to support my brother here at this point. Do the testing, help keep him on his toes in training.
I think I would buy into that. Like, he knows who he is. He
Mhm.
knows what his spot is.
He seems very realistic.
He
Like,
does seem very real.
like especially now, when I made the joke to him about his brother being really good 2 years ago, I'm not sure he bought into that yet.
Yeah, but I think now, yeah.
But now I think he's gotten to the point he's like, you know what?
This is where I'm at. This is who I am. Like, I know where I came from. I have 2 championships on a 250. I held the red plate on a 450. Like, he could retire today and be like, damn.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, dude, he's
Had a good career. But I think he can be a podium guy and stuff for a few more years. Like, obviously, doesn't have the top end speed of his brother, maybe. But, yeah, to answer your question, I think he's accepted who he is.
Ryan Dungey version 2.0.
Dungey won.
Hunter's won.
Dungey won titles on a big bike.
I mean, it's his rookie year. That's the thing we forget. It's his rookie year in a 450 here.
Dungey won 450 titles his rookie year.
Well, look, we're not going to get into those asterisks, okay? So,
I mean, the year Dungey came out on that KTM, though, obviously some chips would have to fall. Maybe Jett goes somewhere else or does something else. But, yeah, Dungey was, like, clearly the best one year on the KTM.
okay.
Do you see a year in the future, maybe some guys shuffle around, that Hunter will be head and shoulders clearly the best guy? Do you see that?
Only if we get another year where Jett's hurt.
Okay.
Then I could see him. He's where I get into the Dungey 2.0. He's like a diesel. Just takes him a little while to get going.
I think he's just there. He's just always there.
Well, I
and
mean,
he can sneak up
but
on
look
you.
at like the 250s, man. Like, he was pretty good. And then it was like, oh man, he's pretty good. Oh man, he's pretty good. And then you get to last year, and he's the man. So like, yeah, you give him another few years here, and Jett gets hurt for some reason again. I could see him being the guy.
I'm with you. I think
and running down, and at that
I
point,
guess I could
really
see that
actually running down Sexton.
well, I mean, this year, like you said, like I said, it's more of a building thing. He didn't expect to even be in this position. Like, as for his ride at Millville, get the start. You know, you could bank on that. I wish I had PulpMX Fantasy because I'd be FFLing every time. But yeah, he got out front. You know, if he had a little more top-end speed like that, he could do kind of the Jett thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he used himself up in that first moto. a little bit. And
he
then
kind of said that. He got boogered.
Yeah. And then in the second one, you could see he tried to go with Sexton as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really appreciate about him is that shirt you got on. I feel like he VRM'd it and was just like, I ain't running with him. I'm cruising. So
better to finish second, go 2-2 and finish second than finish on the ground.
100%. So I think he's very smart rider.
All right. Justin Cooper goes 5-3 for third.
Scooper Cooper.
Finally got on the scooper there. Jesus.
Scooper Cooper.
I really want to know what his contract stipulations are for an automatic renewal, because that keeps getting brought up.
Yeah, I wish they would just be transparent about it, but it's probably JT would know out of everybody.
Yeah.
And he kind of talked about it on the broadcast. He was like, people will guess, but I'll tell you right what it is kind of deal.
He's got podium stipulations here. The problem is that he's going to want to raise. He's going to want to race. He's riding for not much money right now.
It depends on what he signed.
But
if he signed a renewal, he's getting whatever that renewal is. He probably agreed to whatever that renewal is.
The real problem is there's nowhere for him to go. That's his real problem. He doesn't have anywhere to go where he could get more money. I mean, he's worth more money, but there isn't an opening anywhere to give him more money
which really
next year.
Because, I like Cooper. He goes in there, does his job, doesn't really say much, and just goes home.
Fucking sweet. Yeah,
and rides really well. He's another guy I don't think maybe expected to have some wins or anything. I think once he gets a little more of a base under him and he gets out front like that, I think he can win some motos. So.
I feel like he is right where, especially if I was in his inner circle, this is right where I would think he should be, especially for outdoors. Indoors, I thought he was right where he should be. Mm-hmm. So, I think
he's
as
solid.
far as a rookie 450 year, I'm like, this is great. You're doing exactly what we thought you would do.
At Star, if it weren't for a guy like Eli Tomac, he'd be there. But you have to make room for Eli Tomac. You can't not make room for him. So,
look, Star will make room for 875 guys. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Cooper to me is, as people start retiring and stuff, he's a first tier 450 guy. Yeah. Right now at this point in his career, he's the second fiddle guy.
Yep.
If it weren't for Tomac, that's where he would be next to Wet.
Man, they say he wants more money. I wonder what his contract is. Think he's 3 or 4?
I don't know. I guess, if I'm in that camp, I would be going to Star and being like, what are my stipulations as far as going out and getting personal sponsors or something like that. You know what I mean? But
I don't think I think the 450s can. The 450 team is not tied in like the 250
team. He's an Alpine
team.
Star gear, right?
Yeah.
So he's got his own gear deal, so I'm sure he's doing all right.
Yeah. But what's an Alpine Star gear deal worth to Justin Cooper? He's not Justin Barsha or Anderson or Tomac, so he's not getting $1 million.
I bet he's 300 maybe? 300
or 400.
I bet it's 6 figures.
300 or 400 for gear. He's probably 300 or 400 on his contract, I would assume, right? He's got to be 3 or 4. Knowing what we know about some of the other guys, he's got to be 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's 6 figures for sure. He's not broke, that's for sure. But
he's also not a 250 guy, because I know what the 250 guys are. The other problem is that Coop signed for this year to go back to Star for no money, and he has a big kicker, raise coming. So so that's another problem.
I don't know, man. Either way, Justin Cooper's doing exactly what he needs to do, and he's making a living riding his dirt bike, being solid as fuck.
You want to know what I'm doing if I'm Star?
Making him test with the scoop?
Nope. Well, that too. I'm going to Tomac, and I'm saying, look, man, we would love to keep you. We would absolutely love to keep you. The problem being is we got to think future-wise here, okay? We know you've got a couple of years left at most. So here's what we want to do. Your base, we want to bring it down so that we can afford to keep Justin, because we need to base him to keep him for the good of the team. We'll give you a huge bonus deal, though. Huge win bonus, maybe even with Tomac, because I assume, for the most part, Tomac was a win bonus only. We start running into podium bonuses also. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you even got to kick it out farther, you go top 5 bonuses for him, just to keep him with low start money, low base money, and then, okay, cool, he's really performing, whatever. But then that way, too, if he gets to, say...
I mean, he was struggling to break into the top 5 this year in Supercross, so put a top 5 bonus in there.
But then that way, too, if you get to, say, the end of Supercross next year, and he's like, I don't want to race anymore, I'm out, then you're not out money because he
Yeah.
cuts out to it. That's how, and I'm sure they're smart enough to play it in some sort of way like that, but that's how I would play it, is be like, look, we really, for the good of the team, need to be able to keep Justin, and we need to be able to give him a raise.
Yeah, we got to do some kind of long. That's
Yes.
that's a big pickle that they're in.
Yeah, that's really the problem, is because, like you said, you have to make room for Eli,
Yeah.
but you can't get rid of Cooper. So, I don't know. We'll see. AP goes 3-5 for fourth. Okay.
Bummer he went down in that second moto.
Yeah.
I would like to see if he could have gone with those other guys. I don't think he could have gone with Sexton, but to see where he was compared to Hunter.
Yeah. He's just right there, right behind that first group, man.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but he's there. Jason Anderson goes 4-4 for fifth. Okay.
Just who he is outdoors.
The guy's super fucking fast, man. God, he's super. I really wish he'd win one of these, but he just doesn't have that speed.
You know, I think a lot of people forget that they're still developing that bike and figuring that thing
Yeah.
out too. So, no, fastest in qualifying. You don't really see that out of him a lot outdoors, especially. So
That's why I really thought we were going to see better than a 4-4 day yesterday. Of course, that's before he goes down on his fast lap with the flagger situation. I really like how that whole thing happens when he gets back up or whatever, and then they're interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, I actually thought that was really funny because I just grabbed the front brake and was like, oh, shit. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. But this is just kind of who he is outdoors. I mean, even when he had that killer year indoors where he won all those races, should have won the title in my opinion. But he got a couple podiums here and there. Was just kind of third, fourth guy. So
Check still cashing, baby.
Yep.
So Dylan Ferrandis goes 6-6 for sixth.
Is he not in love with that Honda anymore?
No, 100% not. I don't know where he goes.
What about Stubb? He had this like certain connection saying that he was going to Husky.
I have a hard time believing that, knowing what I know now about the Husky gas KTM situation. So, because I got some more insight on that when I was at Redbud, and I don't know about that. So we'll see.
So what they're looking for more power out of that Phoenix bike, right? He's missing that Yami power.
Yep, 100%. So. Christian Craig has a pretty good day. Goes 7-7 for seventh.
Yeah, I guess I've been kind of hard on him. I guess that elbow was a lot worse than probably what we.
Yeah, when they were talking about like he has no muscle in that arm, I was like, oof.
I did see a picture of that thing. Looked like a melon. But
interesting.
So yeah, I still don't think that bike works for him. I'll still stand by that.
He's still out at the end of the year. Like there's no way he's staying there. I don't know where he's going. Hopefully he goes to club.
I still stand by that bike is not the best option for him.
No.
Club I don't think is going to work because he's a West Coast guy. He's got a family.
He's in Florida.
Is he in Florida now?
Yeah, they moved to Florida with Star.
You think he packs them all up and goes to North Carolina?
Maybe?
I don't know. But anyway, I was looking back at some races with him at Star, like podium and a moto at Southwick and stuff. Like, damn, I forgot how good he was that year on the 450.
Can he ride a Club MX bike at the Star facility? It's all Blue Crew.
I don't know. Here, let me text somebody.
All right, see if you can find out. Phil, 9-8 for 8. This is what we can count on with Phil. 8, 9, 10, race in, race out. He's not going to have to ride the LCQs at SMX, which is real annoying. I'm going to really miss this guy.
Phil? I do. I'm going to miss him too. He'll be around. We'll still hear from him. But knock on wood, man. But anytime Phil gets some momentum like this, starts cracking off some top 10s, riding really well.
Something happens.
So,
that's why he's Phil.
So, knock on wood, Phil finishes out this season strong and can go out on a high.
Hopefully.
Because of the kind of guy that we've been opened up into his life and what kind of guy he is, I would love nothing more than to see him go out on good terms and good performances. So, keep doing your thing, Phil. Keep flipping people off. Keep fucking doing what you do.
I miss him already.
Love you.
Love you, Phil.
Love you, miss
fucking you. Love you, man.
Love you. Love you, miss
All right, Harry Coolis, 10-12 for 9th. He's trying to make SMX too.
He's got a Harry Coolis.
Stu goes 8-15 for 10th.
Hang on a second.
Oh, boy.
That Coolis dude, were they talking that he rides like Brazilian Supercross or something?
He rides the Brazilian Arena Cross Series. He's paid to ride that series, yes.
So the SMX thing might not be too bad for him then.
No.
He might do all right.
Yes.
See, that's what I like about the SMX and the playoffs things. We got this character in there, and he's riding solid.
He's trying.
Yeah, he might get in.
He really wants to. So hopefully.
So
Shane goes 16-9 for 11th.
Shane Sin
Shane Sins. He showed up.
doing what he's doing.
He's getting better.
Just kind of where he is.
Just improving. Michigan's own Marshall Welton goes 13-13 for 12.
That's pretty solid. They were playing the
Gizmo mods.
They were going back in the pack a little bit, and he was in the mix, and they never really made a mention.
That's because
of
that
him.
first moto was boring as shit.
Yeah, it was.
It was really boring. So, let's see here. Chiz goes 12-16 for 13th.
Chiz in. I wish I had Pulp Fantasy.
The Pope goes 11-17 for 14th.
He was in the top 10 there for a little bit.
Freddie Noren, still alive, goes 19-10 for 15th. So that's good.
Did he get new wheels, you think?
Hopefully. A-Rod, 15-14 for 16th.
A-Rod sighting, outdoors.
Derek Kelly, 21-11 for 17th.
450 guy.
Colin Park, taking out El Hombre in qualifying, goes 14-27 for 18th. Trevin Nelson, 20-19 for 19th.
Know nothing about him.
And rounded out the top 20, Henry Miller goes 17-39 for 20th.
Another great Pulp pick.
Another great one. Oh, let's see here.
Anybody notable that didn't do well?
Friend of the show, Kevin Morans, goes 29-25 for 29th. Let's see here. And that's basically it, man. Nobody from Michigan.
Yeah, let me see that real quick. I don't even... See, without Pulp, this is the fucked up thing. I don't pay attention to these guys anymore back here.
Yep.
Zach Williams, Minnesota local. I remember that. Scott Meshy made the cut.
Yep.
What happened to Harlan? You hear anything? Just an off day?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Another thing, Garrett Marchbanks.
Yeah.
Must not be stoked on the equipment.
Yeah, that was an interesting one because at first he pulled in and it was what they say was wrong.
Something about the back wheel or something. I don't know. They asked the club guys and they were like, "Yeah, he's not feeling.
He's not feeling good." And as soon as they said that, I went, "Oh, something's up."
Something's up. Yeah.
It's he's just looking forward to that pro circuit bike next year.
That could be a good combination.
Maybe. I don't know.
It depends on if they're letting him do his own program. Look what the own program thing's doing with Master Pool and Kitchen.
Yeah, we'll see. So, all right, that's been your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. So, all right, we're going to move into